Hello everyone and welcome to Oxygen Not Included. My name is Arctic Wolf and today I'm going to be giving you a tutorial about how to get started and established in Oxygen Not Included. This game is fantastic. It's satisfactory factorial style automation and industry game, but you're in control of a underground colony of little duplicates, and it's really fun to play. It's got a unique style to it. As you can see, with the animations are all cartoony and happy-go-lucky, but there's some serious things that can go on. But anyway, I digress. I got ahead of myself. This is Oxygen Not Included. I'm going to be giving you a tutorial how to get from starting a new game in survival mode to an established colony of around 8 dupes around day 20, cycle 20 on the map. We're going to use the basic starter location. There's some of these tips that I'm going to give you will change depending on what resources you have available based on what you pick here, but for the most part it'll work for all of them. I'm just going to click the random seed a couple of times, and in the game settings, so here, this screen doesn't matter what you pick, because when you go to the game settings, all it does is it changes these 4 settings right here. That's it. It goes from default to -1 on the difficulty on all 4 of them. That's the difference. If they're gonna do that, they might as well add one that makes it one harder for everything. But anyway, besides that, you can also change your seed here. If you notice, these numbers is the middle number here on your coordinates. So there's that. The letters around it tell you what planet you're on. So that's that. We've got everything set up. If you want to see how to survive a colony in this game from your first starting dupes, stick around after the intro. I'll run the intro while this is loading, and we'll come back to selecting our dupes. Okay, so here we are at the dupe selection screen. Now, when I first started playing this game, I looked at YouTube trying to find good tutorials for this game, and all the tutorials were how to do advanced endgame stuff, how to finish the game. But there's a missing tutorial on how to get established so you can experiment with the endgame stuff. So that's what I'm going to provide here. A lot of the tutorials will just tell you get some diggers and then go and do your research, and then they'll do everything in front of you so fast you can't understand it, and then they'll be working on advanced power systems and advanced farming, and you're trying to follow along, and all your dupes die off for one reason or the other. That's what I'm trying to avoid here. I want to give you the opportunity to get established in the game so that you can have fun, experiment with it yourself, and finish it however you want to. This is just to get started. We'll do other tutorials for the advanced stuff later. So first off, I would recommend you get one builder or digger who specializes in the other one. So you can click the digger and then, ooh, that was actually the right guy. That's roll back around it. Okay, we got decreased athletics means he can't do operating so well, but he's increased science, and he's got a 30% skill leveling rate, so that's pretty good. And he's a binge eater and a sticky bomber. We won't have to worry about stress reaction negative too much with what we got going on. Just watch out for him to throw stickers all over the place. So we got Bert. He's our builder and our digger. And then on the other one, on the second one, you want to do the opposite. Whatever you got him doing, top, bottom, you do the other one. So we got a digger there. We do a builder here, whose second is digging. See, it's all randomized. There's mods you can get that let you just pick this stuff to stop from having to roll. But I'm not a fan of mods in this game. I haven't tried any of them. Okay, there we go. We got Gossman, who's got a building and digging. And she's also got mole hands, which means she'll dig better. But she can't do cooking. That's fine. We don't need her to do cooking. We're going to have somebody else do that later. And then on your third person. Now, most of the other tutorials I've seen just say do 2 diggers with the +7 on their excavation and don't do any builders. As long as you have 1 digger, you should be fine. And if you want to run them with 3 different specialties, the thing is you can't do certain things in this game without certain skills. And we'll get into that later. But our third person, our third dupe we want to have is a researcher. Preferably just researching, but if she has, he or she, whatever, has a secondary that is science, not science, science is her main. If her secondary is either cooking or farming, it'll help a little bit in the early game, but it's not necessary, because you're going to want your first dupe that you get out of the printer to be a cook and or farmer. So here we go. We've got our 3 dupes selected. She also can't do cooking, so when it comes to cooking, it's going to be Bert in the early game, which is fine. So we got Bert, Gossman, and Camille. Some of the traits that your dupes will get are rather humorous. Like, there's one that makes them flatulent, where they'll just run around and naturally produce methane occasionally in your base. The natural gas will sink down to just above your carbon dioxide and sit there. And I didn't know what was going on at first time I saw it. But anyway, we'll get into that when it comes up, if it comes up. We're going to go ahead and embark. I like the name they gave us, the Incredible Shack. We're going to start the Incredible Shack, and I'm going to show you how to keep these dupes alive for 20 days-ish. Alright, so the tutorial in this game is all text-based. There's no hold your hand and walk you through it tutorial. It's just little bars that come up on the screen that say, if you click this, you can read about this. Most people, most of the time, just close them out. Right here, this and this. They mostly just dismiss the message. Read through this stuff. It'll teach you some things. Like your dig tool is the G button. So we're just going to dig over to there. You can't do anything in this game until you've dug some kind of material first. Now that you got your dupes digging, you're going to want to look for some water. That'll be something you're going to want to get by the end of day 2, is water. Also look for oxygen pockets around. There's some oxalate in some of these places that'll slowly dissipate and give you oxygen. That's necessary for life, obviously. And I got a lot of water around here. Well, maybe not. Not so much, actually. But I got good oxygen over here, good oxygen there, good oxygen up in there. I got carbon dioxide directly above me. That's bad. I'm going to leave that alone for now. We're going to dig down. We want to avoid this. It's polluted oxygen. It's not terrible, but we're going to avoid that for now. This is actually a really terrible seed. We're going to dig up right here. We're going to go towards this oxygen. We're going to need to get a ladder going right about there. You can use the W after you click. You can use the WASD keys to move, and then that'll help you get your straight lines, because I have a terrible misclick affliction. I just cannot seem to click and drag in a straight line. So I will use the WASD keys to do most of my movement with my stuff. That's just how I do it. But we're going to want to dig up there. Dig that out too. Alright. And then we'll build a base this way. I'm just putting that in for a temporary here. One thing I like to do is to place those in so I can see where I'm going to dig. You want to go 4 high unless it's running into stuff like that. But then you go through and you cancel all of that, and I'll explain that later. But basically you want to dig your first day, your first cycle. You want to get an outhouse built somewhere. It doesn't have to be where you're going to put it or anything like that. In fact, we're not going to go up that way anymore. We're going to stop right there. We're going to dig this way. Dig that. We need a bedroom. We need to put at least 3 cots down. So we're just going to dig over a little bit and put some, oops. See, that's what I'm talking about. I cannot click for anything. Put 3 cots. Dig the rest of that out. Oh, no, not down there, not down there. Whoops. I messed it up. Oh, that one. There we go. Okay. Okay. After they get that done, yeah, we're gonna need to dig down. We'll dig that one out. We'll dig that one out, and then dig this out to there. Okay. All right. There we go. And we're gonna put a pitch pump in right there. Alright, and we're going to prioritize this so that they'll, now we got our cots in, we'll prioritize that. And that's, and then after we get all that down, we'll put a wash basin next to our porta potty. I like to keep the porta potty next to a wall and the wash basin on the other side of it. That way they go to the porta potty. There's only one way they can come in or leave, and I make them wash their hands before they leave. Then we don't have to worry about germs. I mean, the germs, it's food sickness is what you'll get. Food poisoning is what you'll get from the outhouse. And it's not going to kill your dupes. It just makes them sick for a few days, and then yeah, they recover. It's fine. No, we already got a CO2 pocket down here. That's because like that, there was one of them directly under spawn. It was not good. I much prefer to spawn above one of these, but that's fine. We'll work with it. She's gonna put that in. They're gonna go back up here and dig that out. I guess I can set another order to dig this away. That'll at least get us into that oxygen. A lot of people tell you not to dig out the oxalate. Let's look at the oxalate in the thing. Oxalate is a chemical compound that slowly emits breathable oxygen. If excavating oxalate increases its emission rate but depletes the ore more rapidly. So, yeah, you mine it, it'll sit there in the ground and it'll still emit oxygen as the ore sitting on the ground, as the item. It'll still emit oxygen. And when it's done, it'll just vanish. Just like it does when it's on the... So you can dig it out if it's in the way of something. But I prefer to just leave them sitting there. It'll eventually disappear. Now, there's a bunch of tutorial videos happening up here. You can watch these if you want to. I have already watched all of it. I would recommend watching it at least once. But, okay. So we got our outhouse and our cots down on the first cycle. That was fantastic. I'm going to hit the fast forward button until they wake up, and I'll come back to you on day 2. Alright, there's the alarm clock, and our dupes are waking up. And 2 of them have already started sanitizing their bed, while the third one runs over and sanitizes the bathroom. This is pretty much their routine every day. They wake up and they sanitize everything. You gotta understand the way the dupes work. They wake up, they sanitize things, they go to the bathroom. Actually, they'll go to the bathroom whenever they need to go, but they'll hold it until bathroom time if there's time in the schedule for it. Speaking of that, the schedule. You only need to give your dupes 2 hours of sleep. Two sections of sleep. And you don't need bath time, because if you look, read it. It says during bath time shifts, my duplicates, okay, all of the narration in this game is first person. So, during bath time shifts, my duplicates will take care of their hygienic needs, such as going to the bathroom, using the shower, or washing their hands, all of which they do in other times anyway. Once they're all caught up on personal hygiene, duplicates will head back to work. They don't have to wait till the end of the cycle of the block of time to go back to work. So you just turn that to work time. They'll go to the bathroom and take their shower during their downtime, because that says during downtime. My duplicates, that is mistyped. During downtime, my duplicates, they may do as they please. I don't think they needed the first day there. Anyway, this may include personal matters like bathroom visits or snacking, or they may choose to engage in leisure activities like socializing with friends. So fine, they'll go to the bathroom and wash their hands and take their shower on their downtime if they need to. So, and what we're going to do here is I'm going to name this one first shift. Oops. There we go. First shift. And of course I have to type extra letters. There we go. Okay, and we're going to make sure the alarm is on. Alright. And then I'm going to add a new schedule. And here we're going to come off the end of where this downtime is, 3 sections, and then start our downtime here. Because if you watch the morale right here, downtime morale, when you put it at 5, you get a +4 morale bonus. And that does not increase after 5, right? So we'll just keep it at 2 for now. But when we have enough duplicates that we got everybody running around doing things, we're going to have 2 separate shifts, and they're going to have downtime at separate times so that they'll have bathroom breaks at different times, and then they'll clean up after themselves like they normally do. But we're going to put our bedtime right there, and then turn the rest of that to work. And you want to keep the number of duplicates on your shifts around about twice as many of the number of bathrooms you have. That'll become important later. I usually end up running 2 bathrooms with 2 shifts with 4 duplicates on each shift to get to the 8 duplicates that I need for a stable colony. And they're idle right now. I need to add a ladder here. There we go. Also, we want to set the direction of travel on our wash basin to the left. So they come in, they'll go to the bathroom, they leave, pass the wash bin to the left, and they'll wash their hands on the way out. And since they lose all their germs when they wash their hands, they won't need to worry about a shower or anything like that anyway. So here we're just going to let them dig out the rest of this stuff. We need to get a little bit more space going. You don't need to worry about food for like the first 5 cycles. Once you get to the point where you got naturally occurring, actually we're going to cancel the uproot on that mealwood right there. You got naturally occurring mealwood around the place. Okay, and we got some bristle blossoms and some shine bugs that'll illuminate them occasionally. And your natural bristle blossoms, well, that's a tongue twister. Your natural growing bristle blossoms will eventually mature and provide food, but it's much better to get them into a farm, which we'll get to that in a little bit. I think we're going to be farming bristle blossoms and mealwood on this one. But your muckroot is not renewable, so you can go ahead and just dig all of that up, and then they can survive on the muckroot you find around. Plus, anytime there's a tile with cracks in it, when you dig that up, you'll either find some kind of plant or you'll find a hatch. The hatch is like the burrow. Plus, that's a bunch of algae. Algae is needed for oxygen generation. Yeah, we want to get this going again up here. And we need to start thinking about getting power. So I generally, for my first power situation, this is not anything close to permanent. We're just going to drop down a generator and a battery and connect it with some wire. And then on the other side of it, we're going to add the research station. And then connect that with some wire. Alright, and now it's time to talk about priorities. You can set your duplicates individual priorities in this menu here. First thing I'm going to do is set new duplicates. So all the new duplicates in that come into the colony. If you right click on this, it'll go down. If you left click on it, it'll go up. Okay, we're going to set them to no research. We're going to set everybody except our researcher to no research. And then we'll set her to double priority on research. But she's going to deprioritize digging and building. And then we'll make the digger and the builder both prioritize digging and building. That way she'll run around the base and clean up after everything, and they'll keep digging and building. So then we also want to make sure that we can store muck root in our ration box. So that'll give her a test, because now she's going to run around and pick up all the muck root while the other two finish this digging and building here. And we are going to dig this way. And yep, like that. Perfect. Okay. So now it's day 3. Or day 2 nighttime. I'm going to fast forward till day 3. And I'll catch up with you in a sec. Alright, and we're back, and as you can see, it's not quite morning yet, but since we changed our sleep schedule, 2 of our duplicates have gotten all the rest they need and got up and went to work. The third one stayed in the bed, still before morning, might I add. There's morning. Until she got all of her stamina refreshed, and then she got up and went away. And that only happened because she was set to wake up at that 3rd block of the nighttime. If they're fully rested, they will wake up. No matter, you just need 2 blocks of sleep for them to get enough stamina, and then the rest of it is just wasted time. So here we go. We got this all opened up. We got a good oxygen flow coming over here. Okay, it says right here we need an oxygen generator and a food source. Now, for food, you can use the microbe masher. Throw it here next to the research station. But what that does is that takes your dirt and mixes it with water to make food. It skips the put the seed in the dirt, let it grow, harvest the seed, eat the fruit part of the equation completely, and your dupes are eating wet dirt sandwich, and it's not very healthy. They can get sick from it. Sick duplicates don't work as hard, and that's all just all around bad. So we're going to survive on muck root and the nutrient bars that we got at the start until, see, she's already charging the battery, so by the time they get this all done, there we go. Now the first thing I would recommend researching is these 2 in farming, basic farming and meal preparation. That's the first thing I always research. Meanwhile, keep giving your dig orders and your build orders to your digger and your builder. Okay, that's going to be there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go that way. About 24-ish blocks. Sometimes a little more. But the majority of your rooms are going to be around 96 blocks. Sometimes they're a little bigger, sometimes they're a little smaller, but that's the maximum size for a majority of your rooms. It's only 64 blocks. Oops, I hit a button. It's only 64 blocks on the barracks. So that only needs to be 8 cots long. Okay, so that's the last ladder she's going to place. Bert. I like your top knot, Bert. Then he's going to dig this out and build that. And we're going to add the tile to this side. There we go. Look, I went one too far. Alright. So here, at this point, I'm safe to just speed it up and let them dig this out and let her do that research. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to speed it up. When the research is done, I'll come back. Okay, so our first section of our first of the two researches is done, but now we've got our first printable available at the pod. Now, I'm going to look at it because we're supposed to, but you don't have to choose your dupes right away. Like in this instance, it might be better to take the 4,000 kilocalories of nutrient bar, because we only have 15,000 calories, versus getting a new dupe. Although having a farming cooking dupe, he gets a bonus to all attributes in the morning. Okay. Like, we could get a farmer cooker dupe. Just don't go past 4 before you get some kind of farm put in. I'm going to take him. I'm going to give him his farming hat. Yep, you're a farmer. You're a farmer. Duplicate morale. Yep, he got morale because he's learning a skill he likes. And pretty soon she's going to give us what we need for farming. And we got a room right here set up to be a farm room. So now we have another dupe running around. I should set priorities for him. So he's already not doing research. We're also going to set new duplicates to deprioritize building and digging. Unless it's a builder and a digger, which we'll change that when we come in here anyway. But I'm going to set him to farming and cooking. So yeah, while she's doing research, he's going to run around and pick up stuff. They're going to continue to build and dig. When this is all dug out and this research is done, I'll come back. Okay. Our research is now complete. We have researched basic farming and meal preparation. So the next thing I generally go for, you'll hear different things from different people on what's the most important, but I like to get lights. We need lights for our farming operation that we're going to be putting in. So we're going to let them dig that out, and then I'm going to tell them what their next task is. Oh wait, it's in farming. Ah, there's my tile. That's the one I want. Alright. So we've got all this new stuff that we can work with here. It's all... Let's just click on everything once to get it all off of our little the exclamation points. Okay, and now that's done. Let's dig out this to there. That's unreachable right there, so we'll just hit cancel on that. And now the reason I left this all open here was so when we put these in, too far. I went too far. Stop there. Deconstruct this one. Them are regular tiles. There we go. Now, when they build that, what's sitting on top will fall through. And I won't have to clean it. That's why I do it that way. Like, this is all sitting up here. When I tell them to change this all to regular tile, all that stuff will fall down to the next layer and it'll be sitting on top of this one. Then we can tear out this one. But we're not going to do that yet, because we're going to wait till we get like 6 or 8 layers up before we tear out the floors and put them in. That way all the stuff falls down to the bottom layer down here, and then you can throw in some storage bins and put it a little higher priority, and they'll all run along this one layer back and forth, and put it all in there. And once you get to the sweepy bots, you just put some sweepy bots in the bottom of your base and let them work. It's great. But as you can see here, we've got our farm coming in. It's not a full-fledged farm yet, but it'll get there. We've got 3 blossom seeds and 13 mealwood seeds. So let's plant the mealwood seed, and then instead of clicking on each individual box and saying plant that, plant that, plant that, you can click this button here, copy settings, and that will copy all the settings in this tile, and then you can transfer that to as many tiles as you want. So we're going to give this to 10 more. I think that's 10. We can check, see. And now, yep, that's all of them. Now we don't have any mealwood seeds. They're going to come put the mealwood up here. And now we have a food source going. It's not great, but it's not horrible, and we can make it better. So if we put in a barbecue grill right there, we might as well add an O2 generator while we're at it. Run that into some power. None of this is permanent, by the way. Alright, and our lighting is done now. So the next thing is we need advanced research. There we go. See, we don't have a cook. We can't cook the pickle meal just yet, but we're gonna set that to pickle meal forever right now anyway. Our next dupe we get will, or when old boy here skills up, we will have a cook. But for now, we can continue to build. Add more build orders. My goodness. See, that's why I use the WASD keys right there. Come down here and dig this like that. Just dig all that out right there, just like that. They can jump down here, and then they won't be able to get back up. Yeah, they will. We'll dig these two, and then they can get back up. They'll use that to get down there. Either way. There we go. And then we'll put those on. Oh, now it's mealtime. But another thing I did was, oops, that's the skill tree. I put our 2 morning early risers on the second shift, so they'll be Getting that boost in the middle of their shift. And now you can see we got Turner down here doing farm work. And Camille's over here charging the generator and doing her science. How many mealwoods did we get? We got 6 more. Alright, so we can add copy settings to them 6 there, boom. And then, oh, she made a mess. Why did you make a mess? Oh, because the toilet was out of order. That makes sense. Alright, so you have to mop this up, and now we have to deal with polluted oxygen. We got polluted oxygen happening. Alright. Way to deal with polluted oxygen. You want to compost your dirt, your polluted dirt over here. Then we're going to dig another pit. We're going to dig a pit. And having it above this polluted water is a good idea. We're going to put our clean water over here. We're going to put our polluted water over there. Your water will always end up accumulating at the bottom of your base unless you specifically design stuff to stop that from happening. That's later game stuff. That's not what we're here for today, folks. So we'll get into that later, like how to position your water and all that fancy stuff. Right now I'm just trying to get it to where we can survive. Okay, so yep, we need to look at our blueprint, our dupe skills, because everybody's skilled up. So that means you can be a hard digger. And you can be a builder. Aha. And then, oh yeah, you're the researcher. There we go. Everybody getting a fancy hat now. We also have some achievements. How much you want to bet? Bed and bath. Aha. Alright. We have a bed for every dupe and a toilet. Fantastic. Uh-oh, we got sand. We have ran into sand. It's okay. Okay, so now we need to put a bottle emptier right there. Oh, it's already built. Alright, and we can set that to accept polluted water. Alright, and we have another dupe. Okay, so here we have 4 dupes already. We have 27,000, 29,000 kilocalories of food. We are growing food. Do we have more mealworts? We have 2 more seeds. Go ahead and plant those. And in another location we can get up the briar bristles. But let's check what we got. Look at that. A cook. Just exactly the guy we needed. Hi, Trivaldo. Welcome to the team. We need to build you a bed. We need to build a couple of beds, actually. Let's finish out the barracks. Oops. Okay. So if you select any building, once you have it selected and your panel is up, you hit the B button. And that will eyedropper tool it. So that's fun. It's different for every game I play. So we're gonna do that like that and add some doors. Now you can set your layup however you want, your layout however you want, as long as you have a farm, a barracks, a power generator station, a research place, and a bathroom. You should be fine. Oh, Travolta gets a skill. You're a cook, buddy. I forgot about that. Yeah. And we also have to set your priorities to cooking. Yeah, buddy. And oops. Now that you can cook the pickled meal forever, alright, nobody's eating mealwort or bristleberry. Don't eat the raw ingredients. We'll have him cook it first. But it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we need to... I think I just want to put them right in here. Put some lights in. Let's check the temperature, because the bristle blossom is finicky. If it gets too warm, it won't grow. I think right here is going to be good. I want to get it kind of closer to the power. I think maybe right there. There's 2 more muck roots up there. We have a CO2 pit now, which is good. All the CO2 in our base will fall down into this pit. And, yep, so just, it needs to be a little wider maybe? Yeah. There we go. Dig all the way to here, and then dig out like this. And then get that. Oh, because it was in water. Okay. I'm like, why is that muck root just sitting there? I don't know. We got fibers right away. That's a thing. We also got pinch of pepper nut. All the top ingredients for food in the game require this ingredient. There'll be a tutorial on how to grow that stuff too, because it's a pain in the rear. But anyway, let's get this completed. Oops. No, we don't want to do all that craziness. It's going to be adding more build orders. And dig orders. We're going to make another farm up here. Dig that over to right there. Oops, wrong one. No, don't do that. That was close. There we go. Okay. And dig this all out. That'll give us 2 more mealwort, 2 more briar bristles. We should plant the rest of this while we have it. There we go. Now we've got mealwort coming. He'll start making the pickle meal. There we go. We can store the pickle meal in there. You'll see people talking about making a little CO2 pit to put your rations in. Unless I don't get enough dupes for the amount of food that I'm producing, I very rarely run into a rotting food problem. So there's that to consider. We'll get refrigeration here very, very shortly. Like now that we have advanced research done, the next thing I do is get plumbing, get both of the plumbing, and then both of the ventilation. Yeah, this is working a charm right here. We still got it on super fast speed because we're trying to get these guys to get this stuff done. Alright, it's time to release this CO2 monster down into the base. Dig, I said. Not there. I'm so bad at misclicking stuff. There, okay. So there's that. We got all the CO2 coming down in here, even to the point where oxygen is starting to come down in here. So if we come over and we dig out these tiles here, that'll push all of this oxygen that's in here up out, and all the CO2 will come down in here, and hopefully that gives us enough room for this pocket. Apparently they didn't run in the wheel. Okay, so there's not much left to talk about right now. We're gonna have to build a wall right there. Just, you know what? No. We're gonna dig that down 2 layers. Right here. Now be careful when you dig out slime, because when it's just sitting on the ground in item form, it will off-gas polluted oxygen. And I mean, this is already our pit for dealing with polluted oxygen, but yeah, that'll happen. So you just got to worry about that. I'm thinking if I just dig that out one more. Just do that. I mean, it's going to let all this polluted oxygen out, but we have a way to deal with it. We'll have it. We will have soon a way to deal with that. We're saving this pool of water for later. Okay, that's air, that's liquids. Now we need the airflow one, and we're gonna go as far as the decontamination one, because it says uses sand to filter polluted oxygen from the air, reducing disease spread. All that matters is it turns the green oxygen into blue oxygen, which is what we want. Chlorine, hydrogen. Oh, we have a vent. Look at that. We have a steam vent. Woo-wee! That's going to be helpful later. Not so much this video, but soon. Alright. Okay. Are you seriously already done with that? That stuff. There we go. Okay. I, for whatever reason, didn't select it. But okay, now we got all of our sewage is going to drain down into this naturally occurring sewage pond here anyway. And I guess we can just cancel all of that crap. Alright. We'll leave that go. Just like that. We'll set the... Alright. Now let's talk about the priorities of the duties. If you go here and click on duties, it'll show you all the different stuff that all your different dupes have to do throughout their daily process. So what I like to do is look at this. This is a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being least important, 10 being most important. I know it only says 9, but there's this button over here that says top priority. This will override all other priorities and set the colony to yellow alert until the task is completed. That's a 10. A 9 is if you guys don't drop everything and do this right now, we're all going to die. 8 is, hey, this needs to get taken care of pretty much constantly. So what we're going to do, I'm going to set the sink and the toilet to 8, right? Now, on your doors, you'll notice your doors have a priority signal on them. That is for toggling. So don't worry about setting that accidentally or whatever. But here, we're going to give it a 7 to the oxygen diffuser, the grill, the research station, and the hamster wheel, the duplicate wheel, the generator, so that this always stays going. And then we'll give a 6. We go to priority 6 to the farming tiles. Kaboom. We'll give a 7 to the ration box. And we are now missing a research station. Okay, so I got to take care of that. But we got a new dupe. We don't need any of these dupes right now. A cooking farming dupe, another one. Actually, we got a farming ranching dupe. They can't dig. Ada, welcome to the team. I was going to take the omelets because that's 8,400 calories of omelets. That can feed all 5 of our dupes. But we'll get this one. Alright, and we'll go to skills. Give her the wrong one. I wanted you to be a farmer. I gave her construction. It's not the end of the world, but man, I did that wrong. I messed up. We're missing a research station, so we have to add the supercomputer over here somewhere by our power. There we go. He'll do that, and then she'll go over to that one. There it is. Now it says insufficient oxygen generation. Well, okay, we'll add another diffuser on this side. Oop, out too close right there. Nope, stop. Slow it down. There we go. Add an oxygen diffuser there. We got new airflow tiles and mesh tiles to work with. New doors. All of our liquid and airflow stuff. Fantastic. The new sink. Awesome. Yep. Everything we need is all research. This is fantastic. The skill scrubber. I can use the skill scrubber. It's a freaking drain on the power when it's in use. But it can fix that mistake of making that girl a builder. Alright. So, it's going pretty good. We're gonna tile this to there. Then when that's done to there, tile this one all the way across. Let's speed it up again. Alright, it's getting really, really nice. Next thing we want to build, I tell them to build. First we're going to block this one off here. Block that off like that. Now I go one space away from the ladder for the first tile, because that leaves a lot of airflow room. And then for the first wall is one space away from the first tile on one side and 2 spaces away on the other side. And generally in the late game I'll turn the whole base into airflow tiles on the inside. But we just unlocked our mechanized airlock. That's comes with our deodorizer, which you'd think these things take power, but they don't. So we're just gonna go down here. We got the polluted oxygen coming up, which is letting the carbon dioxide down, which is good, but we don't want the polluted oxygen to come up into the base. So what we'll do is right here where it comes up in, we'll add a couple of these deodorizers, just so the polluted oxygen will come out up into here and it'll get deodorized into regular oxygen before it gets into the base. And now we've got polluted dirt from the outhouse sitting right there making polluted oxygen. If you go to your composter and put it on priority 7, it'll be part of their cleanup duties to take that polluted dirt to the composter. Okay, now that one's all completely built. Now I'm going to, because it bugs me, I'm going to deconstruct these 2 tiles. There we go. And now we're going to build all of that. And then that whole deal, well, okay, cancel from here. Cancel that, hold on, cancel. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. I want this to be these ones. There. And then box that in like that. I don't know why that's scheduled to be built there, but let's get rid of that. There we go. Now them things don't take any power or anything. That you put sand in it and it creates the oxygen. It cleans the oxygen. It makes polluted dirt, I guess, which could get immediately put into the composter to make more polluted oxygen. So it's like doubly helpful. And okay, we need to take care of our bathroom problems because we've got 6 dupes now and only 1 outhouse. And this is what happens when you don't have enough bathrooms for your dupes. So we're gonna mop that all up. And then we're going to put priority 7 on the bottle emptier and make sure it's only emptying the polluted water. That'll make that all part of their cleanup in the morning. Alright, there we go. Put a pneumatic door right there. Okay. Pneumatic doors for everyone. Looking fantastic. Okay, next step. This, we're going to plant as many of these as we can. Okay. We'll let them grow and then replant them again. But we also need to dig this out here. Like that. And add the ladder. That was a vacuum, so it's going to pull oxygen up in there. Hopefully it pulls this carbon dioxide through this door so it can sink down there. That's really what what I'm hoping for. All right, so that's now we got the big research machine. Everything's going super fast. All right, so we got our deodorizers and our carbon skimmers, which that is a really nice thing too. But the next thing, you want to get air systems, then power regulation, internal combustion, and advanced power regulation. Okay. So we're at 6 on cycle 13. And we're starting to get to the mid game. We're almost there. There's a couple more things we need to do. Our last research that we did was the air systems. The next one we need to do is power regulation 2, advanced power regulation. Everything in that line there. And then choose a blueprint. Let's look at this. We don't need a new dupe right now. Let's take the hatch eggs. That'll give us some hatches to work with. We need to set up light for our bristle blossoms, which is why we got the power generation. But we're going to go ahead and get these set up now. If you can use these lamps, they only take 8 megawatts of power and they produce light in a 360 degree radius. But it's only what, a 4-block reach every direction from the center of the bulb, which is on the tile above where it places on your mouse. So this is good, but that takes up a spot where you got to put a plant, where you put a plant. So you would sacrifice one location for a plant to put those lights in. The ceiling light takes 10 megawatts of power and produces a 5-block cone around, so you can keep them up out of the way like that, and then you're not sacrificing any space in your farm at the expense of a little bit more power to light it. And it's for a room this size, you'd need 3 lamps versus 4 ceiling lights. So that's depending on your power requirements. If you need to be finicky about 10 extra megawatts, then it would actually be 15 megawatts-ish, 16 in this situation. I just go with the ceiling lights. They're easier. And now we need to come down to here and then go over to there. Alright, that should get our bristle blossoms going. I will add 2 more batteries to that. Okay, 4 more batteries to that. That'll be fine. But you don't want your batteries too close to your bristle blossoms. You don't want any of your heavy machinery stuff next to your bristle blossoms. It's just bad idea. Don't do it. They will not work. They will not grow if it gets too hot. You look here. Right now, it doesn't have illumination because we're building the power network. We're working on that. It'll fix itself. But if you look down here, body temperature. I've got it set to Fahrenheit. A plus to the devs on this game. If you go to the options and you go to game, right here, temperature units, it starts automatically defaulted to Celsius. But you can choose between Kelvin and Fahrenheit and Celsius. Kelvin. I've never seen a game use Kelvin temperature before except this one. So there's that. But Celsius, I choose Fahrenheit because I'm from the United States and I know what Fahrenheit temperature feels like. I know how to do the calculations from Celsius to Fahrenheit, but it's 5/9 and add 32. It's complicated. It's a lot of math, and I could just click a button, make it do it for me. So I did. So anyway, if my numbers are different than the numbers in your game, that's probably why. Just saying. So anyway, these things survive from 41 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, which is fine, seeing how our room temperature across the entire base right now, anywhere in the green, they'll survive just fine. In fact, some of the yellow, some of the lighter greenish yellow, they can survive in. Like down here, they'd be fine. But when you start getting into the temperatures over in this range, they're not going to make it. This is the area where the pinch of pepper fruit grows. And you're not going to get your bristle blossoms to grow in that temperature. It just won't happen. Unless you automatically irrigate them with cold water, which is something that's for later. As we do this and it goes along, we're just waiting for these guys to build these things and do the research and letting the plants grow. I'm going to speed it up, and when all this stuff is done, we'll come back. Okay, apparently we earned an achievement. Or did we get research? It was research. But we're not at the end of our research tree, so... right now I'm building a dining room up above. We'll have a washroom on one side and a dining room on the other side, just above the farms. I'm going to get that put in, and I'll come back to you when it's all set up. Okay, we got some duplicate skills that we can use. Gonna go ahead and fix our little mistake we made earlier. We can't just yet. But as soon as she can skill up, you know what? We should take her to the scrubber. Ada, go to the skill scrubber. Oh, she's gonna go to bed. We'll come back at... well, we'll give these guys their skills. Camille gets to be field researching, which is to make her able to go investigate the vent. And then we'll give crop tending to Turner here and give him a new hat. So now they're both getting a new hat. They're orange hats. Ah, that's so cool. Oh, yeah. All right. And now we have all sorts of new oxygen stuff we can play with. The carbon skimmer would go good down here. Pull it cleans the... it uses water to filter carbon dioxide from the air. And it produces polluted dirt. No, it just uses the water. and produces polluted water. That's what it is. So then you'll have to dump the polluted water somewhere. There's also a way you can purify the polluted water to make it clean water and send it back through. That's cool. Here we have the electrolyzer, which converts water into oxygen and hydrogen. Okay? Now, this thing is really good for making oxygen if you need it. But it's going to give you hydrogen, so you're going to want to dig up to the top and make a big, like the opposite of a CO2 pit. If you build one of those things, you need a hydrogen escape vent up top for all your hydrogen to accumulate in the top. So if I was going to do that, what I would do is I would dig this ladder all the way up into here and then dig this out down to about here. And then I just let that fill up with hydrogen up there. Then you can gas it back down into your hydrogen generators if that's how you want to do it. Which I think that's actually what we're going to be doing this time around. I was going to set up a coal generator, but the coal generator has the problem of limited resources early on before you get ranching, and you can get enough hatches to ranch. Like I've got the 3 hatches that I got, and then there's 1 egg there and 1 running around wild there. I haven't seen any other hatches. Like these might be hatches up in here, but I haven't seen very many wild ones, so ranching is kind of not an option right now. We're gonna get this build order set. And this dig order set. Dig it to about there. Yeah, just dig all that out. Like that. Yep. And then we will need ladders so that they can reach 2 spaces away. So I did that wrong. So if you use your ladder, like, well, they can reach, no, they can reach 3 spaces from standing on top of the ladder. So if you do like that, and they can also reach down 3 spaces. So if you go like that far, they should be able to reach everything. I will go ahead and widen this out like that. Okay, so now we're going to the point where we need to start manually clearing out some of this stuff, because I don't want to tear this all out and then put it all back and then tear this all out and then put it all back just to get the stuff to fall to the bottom. So we'll put a storage bin in right not there. Storage bin right there. That'll help. Okay. For the dining room, what I've done here is I put in my 8 dining tables, mess tables, 1 water cooler, because that water cooler counts as a recreation building, even though it says outside of recreation room. That doesn't matter. If you look at our rooms, why is this a miscellaneous room? It is, see, right there, it says possible room types. Great hall, mess table. It says missing decor item. And then mess hall is too big for a mess hall because it's 72 tiles instead of 64. And then we got rec room because it has the recreation item in it, and I would have to remove all the tables to make it a rec room. So what we want to do, we want to give it a decor item. easiest way to do that is to plant a briar seed. Chances are you've picked up a briar seed or something that you can just plant as a decorative plant. And you just throw one decorative plant inside your mess hall and makes it the Great Hall, and they get +6 morale for eating in there. There it is. Boom. Mess hall. The Great Hall. Morale bonus +6. Also, since I walled off the bedroom, they get a morale of +1 for sleeping in a barracks. Okay, so we've got our research is done. The advanced power stuff. Somebody made a mess. I gotta clean that up. One thing at a time. Okay, after that, I hardly ever have to worry about doctoring. But after that, I like to start heading towards automation. Which is first artificial friends, and then you go up this way. Or wait, no. My bad. Well, you can. At this point, you can veer a little bit. But I'm going to go for the agriculture focus because I want the farm station and the fertilizer synthesizer. Yeah, I can't say that word. That's not so important as the farm station, but the two of them together really help. Plus refrigerating your food, like, that's key. And we have another dupe. Okay, we're only at 6 right now. We'll probably want to be getting another one soon, but we'll want a farmer or a rancher. And now we can get brine. Brine can be water. It's only 2,000 kilograms. It's not a lot. Or we get a mirth leaf seed. That's medical. We don't really need it. But we have a rancher. But he's not going to be doing much of anything else. And he's the earlier... Alright, we'll take him. Welcome to the team, Rowan. We're going to give you a skill. Everybody got skills. Look at that. Okay, you are a farmer. Yes. You also are a farmer. Yes. There we go. You get to cook on the grill now, buddy. And you are also a digger. And you are also a builder. See that? Alright. So we're going to let them go. Do their thing. I got to do that. We're going to set this to take everything. And then whenever they don't have anything to do, they'll start picking up stuff around the base and putting it in that box. So I'm going to let them run, and I'll come back to you when we got something else. Okay, we're almost done digging this out up here, but while we were digging this out, we found 4 more briar blossom seeds, so we went ahead and planted those. We're almost ready to set up our power system up here. Now, it's a toss-up. Sometimes I go for the the hydrogen power generator. Sometimes I go for the coal generator. With this cool steam vent here, you can get a steam generator going very easily, but you have to get there in the research first, whichever way you choose to do it. It's easiest to do coal because it's right there. Hydrogen's the next one, but in order to do the hydrogen, you have to have unlocked your air systems. Okay, so now after that, let's get ranching. And then after ranching, we'll get automation. We're probably not going to get to automation before the end of this tutorial. Just saying. That's at the point where automation begins is the point where this tutorial is going to end. Like, how do I get to the point where I can start fiddling around with the game and just playing with it and not have to worry about my dupes dying off? That's what we're going for here. So after we did our dining hall, great hall, now we need a bathroom, a good bathroom. But we're going to use the same location as our old bathroom, but we're going to change to tile. I wish I could do that without making too many that they want to try to build before I can delete them. Okay, there's that. I'll give it an airflow tile wall. And you don't want to delete things before you have new things to replace it installed. That's like, if I'm going to give you a list of tips, that's among the top. Build your new stuff and get it done before you delete your old stuff. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and use the same water here. It'll run it out pretty quickly. We have another pit right here we can use. Actually, we could probably just use this one. It's probably a safer bet to just use this one, because we're going to need the water for the bathroom and the hydrogen. So I was going to pump it up, pump it through the bathroom, and then bring it back around and up into there. So yeah, it's a better idea just to do this. Alright. I'm going to let them get to this. I'm going to put in some build orders and let them build it, and then come back and show you what we got. Alright. And we're back. I had an issue. I forgot to put this little valve, liquid vent, on the end of this pipe. So all of this backed up and they all started peeing all over the place. But I fixed it. It's working again. Minor setbacks like that will cause things like this to happen, where you got polluted water in your water and you can't do anything really about it. It'll happen. It won't kill your dupes. So what we got going on here, we got our electrolyzers going. They're producing hydrogen and oxygen, which is fantastic. The oxygen level in the place is really, really good. And all the hydrogen's floating up to here. And we're going to let that get about to this ladder right here. And then we'll kick it over. This is waiting for this pipe to be connected to one of these right there. We're gonna let this fill up with hydrogen until about here, and then we'll turn it on. I should run a filter. I should run a filter on it. Filter out the hydrogen and send it down, and just vent the rest of it back in. Oh, we have another dupe to pick. I might as well pick our last one. We need one that's good at farming or cooking. And we got nobody. We'll take the hatchling. I mean, we're basically there at this point. If you got a good rolls on your dupes, you should have around 7 or 8 right now. Also, you should be fairly stable as far as food for all your dupes. And at this point, we're ready to, like, if I was to throw down 5 more storage bins, I could sit here for another 90 days and wait for them to clean all the stuff off the floors. And I won't lose a dupe. for food or starving or anything like that. Everything will keep working, and you'll just be able to do whatever you want. If you get too far away from your main base, you'll start getting warnings about long commutes and stuff like that, which there's technology later in the game to combat against that. So my recommendation would be, don't go outside of the scope of what your technology can handle. Like, if you don't even have petroleum refining yet, why are you trying to dig down to the oil pit? Or if you don't even have rocket technology, why are you trying to dig up to space? Like, keep it small, keep it contained. It's looking like I might have to box this off here and here to keep the hydrogen from going that way and that way. Like, this is doing a good job here keeping it going up there, but this is just letting it go that way as far as it wants to, and I don't want it to do that, so I will have to do this. We'll go ladders. That was way too far. And then like that. And just all of that. Dig it out. It's cycle 22. I'm a couple of days behind where I said I would be. Had I chose to go for coal, mind you, I would have a coal generator set up right here on this line, and it would have been done by day 20. I sacrificed 2 days to get the hydrogen generator instead of the coal generator. Worth it to me. But if you happen to start in a, like, you didn't pick this planetoid to start with, and you picked one that starts with the arbor trees and the pips everywhere, you can use the wood generator, and that gives you a lot of energy for what it does. I'm gonna add a refrigerator just on the outside of the dining hall there. Like that. Alright. No research. Let's go ahead and research something. That means we got automated friends. Oops. That happens when it autosaves, or when you right click somewhere and it decides it wants to just, I don't know, just have it. Anyway, our next, like, if you're having a problem with too much of one and not enough of the other versus polluted water and regular water, you can get this one, which we're going for that now because we need the filter. We're going to go for that too. We don't need the filter, but it'll be helpful. It'll let us get going sooner. Okay, you want to be a rancher and a farmer? Okay, you can be a farmer. And if we get ranching going, you can be a rancher. Alright, check priorities and skills. There you go, farmer. There you go, farmer. Schedule. You're a morning guy. Come down here. There we go. Alright, now that thing can take everything that's edible, and we can deconstruct that. And no need for a CO2 pit. They have refrigerators. I mean, the refrigerator will get full. It holds just as much as a rations box, so They take power. People are against them using power. But I mean, this thing generates 800 megawatts of power. Or 800 watts. That's a lot. That's more. That's twice what this does. So how are we doing up here? Alright, we got a nice amount of hydrogen, and it'll suck it all up and pump it down in here and run it into here, and then when this is full, that'll stop pumping. So we're gonna go ahead and connect that. And that should get us some power going automatically. Yep, here it comes. Doop, 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 doop. And we down it comes. We can hit this button to watch it come in. And now it's generating power. Did it overload the wire? It's overloading the wire. Alright, it's okay, that's why we got these ones. We're gonna send this way. Deconstruct them ones. Okay. Now do that. Oops. Yeah, and then deconstruct them ones. Alright, and then give us let's go with 4 of the big batteries, 5 of the big batteries, and then we'll connect them all with this big massive power wire here. There we go. Okay, and then we'll use a transistor at the end. To power that circuit there. Which that 480 on that circuit also counts the skill scrubber. But the skill scrubber is never in use. So you have to account that on your line. So we look at it, it says 1.36. It really means 960 or 940. So then this one I'll deconstruct that there like that. Alright. Let them finish that. Alright, and then deconstruct that one. Give us a bridge right there. And then run this way, up, over, that's probably good. You can hit the O button to rotate back and forth on some of the buildings, not everything, but if it's got an offset on in and out like this, you can rotate them. You can rotate the latrines in the bathrooms. You can rotate the sinks. You can rotate the power grids. It's good. Okay. So now we connect this to that. And that is self-sustaining. That will keep that going forever. Come on. Come on. There it is. Now we're pumping helium back down. We finished with our research, so now we can do this correctly. Yep, so we want this to come out of here. Or nope, this one. To come out of here. Go that way. And back down here. This is not going to work with oxygen. Coming in. Oh, it will take the oxygen. I guess it just expels the oxygen or just burns it up. I don't know. But we need to put a vent right there. And vent that back off. And then tell that we're looking for hydrogen. And then connect it back to the vacuum. And then we need to give it power. And there we go. That is how you get... Okay, let's see our duplicates. What do we got? A cook! A cook with a doctoring side. Alright. That's number 8. We are stable at 8. I would recommend not going to 12 until you have another farm in place. 2 farms is good for 8. Basically, it's 1 farm supports 4. That's the way I look at it. If you got this many mealworts, you get mealwood trees, you'll get about 4 duplicates to be able to sustain themselves on that. If you're cooking it into the pickle meal. Same thing with the grizzleberries. If you're cooking them into the grizzleberries instead of the bristleberry, then it'll give you 1 farm like this will support 4 of your dupes. I mean, if you look at my food, I've got 49,000 kilocalories available, and a majority of it is the pickled meal. Look at that, 5.1 kilograms. I got 46.2 kilograms of the muck root, and then 1,000 grams of lace. That's fine. It's working. Everything is working as it should. So this is just cycling off all of the hydrogen out and leaving the oxygen up here. So she's perfectly content to be idle, just standing up here. I don't know why. There's nothing left to do. Because this storage bin's full. That's why. Alright, so yep, now we're at the point where we can add these storage bins. Let the dupes just do what they want to do. If you want to go off and explore the map, you can do that. If you want to clear out a big space and fiddle with the physics, you can do that. I just clear all the rest of the research except for everything except for what takes rocketry, and you can play. But I have achieved the goal. I've shown you how to get from 3 dupes on day 1 to 8 stable dupes around day 20. You can go fast. I went a little bit slow because I was doing a tutorial and I was talking through it and not paying attention to everything as soon as I should have been. But overall, this is I would consider this a successful start. And I would be able to take this game into the late game. And I wouldn't run into many problems until I start messing with chlorine and hydrogen and getting gases mixed into the base and all that, which that's another tutorial later on how to mitigate that and deal with that. But that's going to have to do it for us today, everybody. I thank you for watching. If you learned something, great. I hope you did. If you found any part of this video useful, I would appreciate it if you give me a like on the video. To see more Oxygen Not Included, hit that subscribe button. I got a lot more coming up. Well, you people have a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by. We'll catch you next time. Arctic Wolf out.